A very positive good evening to all the participants from all across the world. Am I audible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, everyone. Good evening, Dr. Shresh Chabra, sir. Good evening, Dr. Chabra, sir. Participants, just hold on for a moment. Our subject expert, sir, will join us very soon. Good evening, Dr. Ajay Jain, sir, Dr. Saurabh Jain, sir, Dr. Shresh Chabra, sir, and all dear participants from all across the world. I think there is having some network issue. Sir is trying to join with us, so please just have patience for some moment. He will be here with us very soon.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are completely audible. Very
Okay,
good evening to you, sir. How are you?
I'm good, Nikita, ma'am. Thank you very
Uh,
much, and you know,
Great, great, sir.
very good
So,
evening to
sir,
all the respected participants.
Shall we start with the session, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. So, don't let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. A very positive good evening to all dear participants, esteemed member of Team Research Foundation of India, our distinguished subject expert, Dr. Shreesh Chabra sir, and all dear participants. It's Nikita Khandelwal, the program coordinator for the FDP on practical aspect of ICT tools and online teaching in current scenario. This FDP is organized by Research Foundation of India in association with CT University Punjab and sponsored by HERF, ARGA, and EduAcademy.in. As we all know that Research Foundation of India is strictly working for the social upliftment and higher education quality in Indian research promotion in the form of events like international national conferences, seminars, workshops, and other activities. RFI works for the integration of intellectual ideas across the globe to fulfill the thrust of innovation of humanity. RFI is concerned with improving the educational process by encouraging scholarly inquiry related to education and practical application of research result in higher education. It has also signed MOU with top universities of India. RFI's members are faculty, researchers, guided students, and other distinguished professionals with rich and diverse expertise in education research. RFI does not take any financial sponsor from any government body, and RFI has organized 1,000 plus international conferences and workshops, FDPs, Synopsias, etc. All over the world now, RFI is having 87 chapters in India and 18 chapters in Asian and other countries and categorized in 5 both West, East, South, North and Central zone. So with this, as we all know, today it is marked as a day 1 of our FDP program, and the topic of the today's session is responsibility of teachers and HEI. And for this, a very highly esteemed, knowledgeable personality, Dr. Shreesh Chandra sir is here with all of us. But before we head towards the session, let's throw a light on the achievement journey of Dr. Chabra sir. Dr. Chabra sir holds a PhD degree in labor welfare. He has a teaching experience of almost 22 years, wherein he taught at undergraduate, postgraduate, executive programs, PhD coursework level, and guided research projects also. In his present assignment, sir is associate professor with Delhi College Business School, Indore, and he has published in national and international journals, conferences, and Delhi's also. Sir is associated as reviewer with Global Journal of Labour, University of the Witwatersrand, South Africa, Journal of HRM, Science Publishing Group, New York, USA, Journal Press, India, USN International Management Conferences, ASC Bucharest also. As a member of editorial board, Sir is associated with Annals of Human Resource Management Research, Indonesia, International Journal of Science and Management Studies, Universal Journal of Business and Management, USN International Journal of Academic Research and Development. Sir is working as a mentor with Startup India, a Government of India platform for nurturing entrepreneurship. Be in Cube Incubation Center backed by Government of Chhattisgarh as a coordinator Indore Zone Research Foundation of India and member of Asia Research News, IFERP and INSC. Sir has been session chair in national and international conferences and also conducted many more FDPs for IMA, MSME, State Electricity Board, police, and other corporates as well. Rotary Club, Amateur Business School, EMG, SSM Trust, and Institute of Scholars have recognized the precious efforts and contribution of Chabra sir in his stream. So with this, I would request Dr. Shreesh Chabra sir to hold the footpace and guide to all our eagerly waiting participants with his valuable knowledge. So, sir, now the platform is yours.
Thank you very much,
But
Nikita, ma'am.
before we, sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes.
Before we start the session, I am having a humble request from all the participants that if you are having any question and query, please raise your hand. It's an interactive session, but try to keep yourself mute so it will be better for us, and try to maintain the decorum of classroom. Thank you, sir. And thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Please continue.
Thank you very much, Nikita ma'am, for your kind words, and all a very good evening to all my respected colleagues who have joined from us from different parts of the country, and this topic. So responsibility as a teacher. So I believe all the respected colleagues who are listening to me are teacher by them, are teachers. So what essentially I would be doing, I won't be trying to talk to you what should be doing, what not should be doing. You all of us are well versed with that idea. So what essentially I would be trying and doing is that I would be uh, doing it an experiential learning type of a session with you, an experiential sharing type of a session, wherein I would invite, as Nikita ma'am rightly said, I would be inviting your comments, your inputs as well. Maybe that could benefit every one of us. Now, as I told you that we have an experiential sharing session. So for that experiential sharing, to start with this experiential sharing, I have invited a ma'am with us, Mrs. Neha Sharma ma'am. She is with us, and she's a teacher entrepreneur in herself. So, ma'am, are you here?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, Neha Sharma ma'am.
Yes,
Neha Sharma ma'am.
yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, okay. Good evening, Neha ma'am. Uh, so just give you a brief idea, ma'am has done her post graduation. She's now planning her PhD, uh, and then she has worked in education industry, in banking, and then she went on to work in Australia, where almost she has worked for 10 good years as contracts manager, and then project manager with Schindler. So back in India, she has her own school. She runs her own, institution. So, ma'am, welcome to this platform. Um,
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for having me here.
thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I have got straight few questions I have got for you. As a part of, since it has been almost 10 years now of you being into this. As a teacher entrepreneur, so I've got a few questions for you from your perspective as a teacher entrepreneur. I want you to want all of us to understand few things. So with your permission, may I start?
Sure, sir, but I'm pretty sure you know more than what I would be doing. You have got
No,
more
absolutely
experience than me.
not.
But
uh,
I'll try my best, yeah.
okay, thank you, ma'am. After your corporate experience working with Schindler Australia and Schindler India, so after your corporate experience, why you chose education?
Uh, um, Thank you for the question. See, it has been really very easy because, being everybody is in the education industry, I guess. But still, corporate is a bit tough, a bit sadder. And, it's not a happy environment per se for every day. You have to go there somehow. We have heard all the stories and everything. But education somehow, it gives us hope. You get up every morning, you go and see kids, no matter which age they are. So my idea to start my own school, being an entrepreneur, was to create a happy environment for the kids, the teachers, everyone, the whole staff, even the parents. I just wanted to put that thing on place because I have seen so much, I have been so much. I don't want other people to see that. That was my initial idea to get into education. Yes.
Okay. So means how do you see education in general, ma'am?
Like in general, if you ask me, education is very important, and it is very important that we have got good teachers. We have got a good syllabus, good content to teach the kids. It is very important because when I have seen both the countries, I have seen Australia, I have seen India. I think Indians are far more eligible, far more educated, than any other country in the world. And it all, salute to the teachers that I'm talking to right now. It's because of you all, you have put so much hard work into your profession that the kids, they can excel anywhere in the world, wherever they go. So I think it is very important to have a good education system, but at the same time, I think it has to be more practical as well. Like when we talk theory, it should be backed up by the practical knowledge as well. So other than that, even if we talk about Australians, like as I was talking about, what they had to do was just to get some basic prelim education, and then they can choose any practical field they want to, and then they can have their own career in that. But in India, the more you study, the more your brain widens, and you grasp so many things so easily because you are educated. So it is very important to have a good education system. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you, ma'am. So, ma'am, you talked about an idea that good teachers.
Yeah.
So, what qualities do you think, or what qualities, as a as the head of the institution, as an owner of an institution, what qualities do you look in a teacher?
First and foremost, I think whatever you do, it doesn't matter if you are a teacher or you are a supporting staff, you're a health staff, no matter which position you're at, you have to be sincere, right? So if I'm looking for a teacher should be sincere in the job they're doing. It's not just because they cannot find anything and they are getting into teaching. No, you should be sincere that, yes, I want to take up this subject. This is my interest. And now I would be sincerely teaching the kids. So first thing is sincerity. Secondly, I would look on their education, as we are talking on education. They have to be educated enough. They should have the knowledge of the subject, or whatever thing they are applying for. They should have the proper grasp on that thing. Third and most important thing I look for is, how we take demos, and in some places they keep 3 months contract employees. So they do it so that they can see whether the person they have appointed, who is qualified enough, who is sincere enough, but is that person able to connect with the kids? Would that person, the teacher that they have appointed, would teacher be able to communicate their ideas, their knowledge, their learning to the kids? It should not happen like, you have got an educated person, but they won't be able to teach the kids properly. They come there with their own paper, and, they teach them, and then they leave. So the kids are not getting anything out of it, right? And another thing, the last thing I look for in the teacher is how well they balance their work and life. It should be two different things, the personal life and the professional life. They should not mix it. So yeah, well, while on the probation, we check on these things, and we hire a teacher accordingly.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Like say you talked about balancing of personal and professional life.
Yeah.
So being into a steering seat, you are the captain of the ship. So
Yeah.
how, as a system, I may not have a good day always.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
I may be having some personal issues. I may be fighting with some personal on my personal front.
Right.
So how do you see that? As a school, how do you make things good for the staff?
So first of all, I'm not the captain of the ship. You can call the owner of the company as a captain of the ship, but it's not like that. It's like all-wheel drive. Everyone has to drive on that. So
Mhm.
it's like, first thing, you have to believe that you are a part of team, because now, if I talk as an entrepreneur, you should think that you are a part of team. It's not your team per se. You are a part of team, and you have to put that mentality into everyone else's brain. You cannot be a leader when you cannot communicate with your peers. So what I think, like what I do personally, I just share that with you all. I hope that would help, but I don't want you all to compare with your own bosses per se. So what we do is, I do weekly session with all my teachers, where we can talk. I have an open office where they can come in anytime they are having any problem. I'll try and sort it out at my best. I don't pose directions per se, because I know they are knowledgeable, they are educated. They might have a bad day and they won't be able to, deliver the thing they want to deliver. So at that time, I do understand their point, but at the same time, because it's a school, we don't want, kids to suffer on that. I try to shuffle the teachers when it is needed. If I do this much only, and a good, meal time, we do once a month that we sit down together and we eat. That thing, brings us closer. And that makes them have that sense of responsibility toward the school. It's not like they are working for the school. They think that is their own school. So I think that is the main job as an entrepreneur, that, you instill in your teachers that they feel that it is not just my responsibility, it is my school. It's not just someone else's school that I'm working on. So I think you have to make that bond with the teachers and, give them enough space when they are going through some family issues or something. And, try to push them as well to forget the things that's happening at the home, so that, one thing, we start going to the job, especially the women. Not all of the women, but most of the women, they want to get away from the regular family life. They don't want to do the same thing over and over and again. So they want to utilize their knowledge, their education somewhere better. So mostly the job is um, for the teachers, the women teacher, the female teachers, is to, get away from the home. So I want them to have another home outside their home, where they can, forget about all the problems they are facing at their actual home, and they can spend a good, 3-4 hours at school and go back home smiling. That's my idea.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, one last question to you.
Yeah.
Say, your ideas which you have implemented. If I talk, most of me and most of my colleagues who have joined us,
Yes.
they're from university, ma'am. They teach at a very senior, and almost a finished product out from your school.
Right.
So how do you create? How should I connect back to them? What should I tell them that, okay, this is what you can do it in your university or your institution?
So
My question is essentially is, ma'am, that do you see that there is a difference between a teacher being at a school or being at a say at a university?
yes, definitely, because they are dealing with different kinds of customers. So the school customers, they are really very young. They don't know anything about the outer world. They have just come out from their homes. So at the earlier stages, they require a mother teacher. That's what we call it in preschools, right? So the mother teacher would work at some point, but as soon as they hit teenage, they don't want to be pampered. The kids want to be connected, they want to be heard. So you need to become a friend teacher. That's what I think. That's my term. So you cannot just, like what friends do. They won't let you do something bad, right? They help you out when you are in a problem or a danger, right? And they don't they are happy when you are progressing, and they tell you that this is something that you have done wrong. These are the basic qualities that friends do. So I would request all the university teachers to become the friend first, because these days we are facing so many problems in the kids, especially the uni ones. They are going through all those new terms, the depression and all that come from Instagram and all. So I would request you all to, think about your, like you have got a 1 hour of lecture, for example. So in that 1 hour, if you can cut down just for 10 minutes, give them a quality education, some moral part, something, that they can connect with, something that is out of the syllabus, but that would help them in the longer run. So that would, I think that would be a great thing if that can be added in the, school or college educations.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for your time and your inputs.
Well, thank you so much for having me here. Thank you so much.
So with this inputs, I would directly like to continue with what what ma'am was telling us, and I would like to show you a small video, and then we start with this experiential journey further. So please have a look at this video.
All right, guys. To Kill a Mockingbird, Chapter 2. Open up your books. Hey, John. I really think you're going to enjoy this book. All right, John. What's going on? Just listen.
Kill a Mockingbird, Chapter 1.
Hello?
Hey, it's John. Sorry to call you so late, miss.
What's going on?
Can I ask a question about tonight's homework?
Of course.
So with this, I start with my discourse, and with inputs from Neha ma'am and the video that we just saw as to why we teach. See, we need to understand this first idea, that what everyone stresses about, that teaching is not just a profession, it's a responsibility. So please remember this idea, because I would be discussing this idea later on also, that as to why I want to tell this thing. So this is what to all with respect to everyone who has taught us. Okay, and this is what I keep telling to all in all my sessions also, that please don't forget that at some point of time we were sitting, maybe 10 years, 20 years, how experienced you are, irrespective of that, please don't forget that at some point of time in your life you were on the other side of the table. So you were sitting on those benches. We all were students, and to some extent, as I always tell my students also, I was throughout my education I was a backbencher. Okay, so probably when you sit back, I would like every one of us to at least in an empty class, maybe when students have left, please sit there for 5-10 minutes and feel that you are sitting on the backside of the bench, and then you would remember that you were not that easy nut to crack. We were equally notorious, we were equally doing something or the other. So it's our teachers, our parents who have brought us in this shape. Some of us may not have done a good grade altogether, okay, but today we teach others. I have examples from my friends who were just passed, who struggled passing in their class 10th and 12th. One of them has miserably failed in class 12th. to the extent that he has to change the subject and reappear in his class 12th with another subject. And today, he connected me back. He comes from my hometown. He connected back with me. He's teaching in some place in Delhi. He connected back with me that he has, being like say he has been recognized as one of the best teachers in that institution. Based on the student votes. So that is what I want to tell. That is what But then, way back in 2002, I believe, I was attending one of uh, one of the faculty development programs on teaching and teaching skills. I was quite new into that career, and I was hearing a director then. Okay, I wouldn't like to name any institution or the director. Now, this resource person, a very senior resource person, he talked about a very peculiar idea. He said that if you want to look into one of the worst type of politics, welcome to education. And then he went on to explain that since in many institutions, if you have got free time, so what you would do politics. Okay, so one of the severe political things that you can find out in organizations is education. Okay, I don't say that whether I agree or I disagree, or whether you may agree or you may disagree, but yes, in essentially, as a human nature, politics is something.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes, sir, please.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Excuse me, sir.
Go ahead. I'm listening to you. Please go ahead.
Sir, actually, voice is breaking. It's not clear.
It's not clear. Am I clear as of now?
Yes, sir. Voice बीच बीच में break रही है sir.
Am I
I think
audible
there
now?
is I think there is an internet problem.
Uh, okay. Still, I would try to be. I believe I'm audible now.
Yes, sir. Some words are clear, audible, but
Yes,
some are
sir.
not.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So, every one of us faces this idea of politics. Okay, so you have to deal with the politics in organization. Within this organization, you have to deal with politics. So there is in order to showcase themselves that they're, and to the worst situation that in times students are also involved in this politics, or teachers have made students a part of this politics. I tell you one of my experiences. uh, One of a young colleague joined at a certain institution, and he was given a subject, okay, in specialization. So another senior colleague who was otherwise teaching this specialization, uh, she felt somehow that this paper is her what you say, a pet subject. Okay, she has been teaching it for years now, and suddenly this has been given to another faculty. And the HOD tried explaining her that, ma'am, please understand that I had this option available, because you have, say, another two pet subjects for you. So one of your this thing I have taken up because you're senior, and he's starting off his career. So I have given it to him so that he can establish 1 from A, 1 from B, and 3 from C. Is it okay now? Whereas you find that others are not given this type of thing. Others are given 3, 2, 1. The problem is things are right till the things you don't see any favoritism or politics playing into it. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Systems are right till the time they are not implemented in an till the time they are implemented with an unbiased mindset. Okay. Another institution, I was discussing this with their director, so they told me that, sir, we have implemented a great system that the schedule say we say if the scheduled load of a faculty is say 15 lectures, 20 lectures, whatever, as per norms. So depending on whether you are associate professor or assistant, so whatever the load that is, and if you take any other subject, you would be paid extra. System sounds good. See, if you have got a load of 20 lectures per week, so if you are taking 21st lecture, or if you are by any chance if you get another subject beyond 20 lectures, you would be paid extra to the rate of visiting faculty. Is this system good? What do you say? Is this system good? What is harm in this system? If they are giving you extra burden, they are extra paying you also. Probably if you agree, only if you agree to take it. That is the condition applied types. Okay. Only if you agree to take it. Okay. Biasness, Ashutosh sir, would be created if you feel that, that I asked him the next question, sir, in your say span of say 4 or 5 years having implemented this policy, how many people were actually given extra money? And then he went on to say that, sir, practically nobody actually took an extra lecture. So I hope you're trying to get the other side of the policy. You have got a catch in the policy that nobody actually gets on to that level where they can be given extra lectures. So the load is such that you don't earn any money. So despite of the fact that you may be given the highest load of say 20 lectures, you don't end up end up earning anything extra. So absolutely right when you say this thing that it would give you another pressure of delivery. How many times it is that management does emotional things with you? It's our institution, we all should be working together, but you find that the next morning you are late and somebody for a genuine reason, and you would show them the watch, sir, why should I not cut your salary, why you are late? That's what I'm saying. That's where the imbalance is. The imbalance is not about the workload. The imbalance is in how you are dealt with. Okay. And as Neha ma'am was saying, the work-life balance, the family work-life balance. Okay. So I mean, at times, it takes you up. Okay. There are problems in everyone's families. Somebody may get sick. Somebody may be not keeping well. So there are always family-like balance, workplace balance. Salary for some people is a question mark in many institutions. Okay. So you get only peanuts. Actually, you get peanuts. And then, on facing all of this, if you are ready to face everything that, and then you have got students who are quite inattentive in nature. So, not that rosy picture as a teacher. Not that, everything is happening great as a teacher. Okay. But then still we continue to be as a teacher. So what is that? Okay. What is that? What continues to, to propel us to be a teacher? And here comes the first idea for you. And I would like, a hand raise maybe. How many of us are in this teaching as a choice or as a compulsion? Why I say this? Please listen to me. If you're out of a professional course, okay, engineering or maybe in any other professional course, management, engineering, chartered accountancy, in any professional course, you always had an option to pick up a job from campus. Okay. And one of my, in an alumni get together, one of my friend made this remark that all those who were uh, capable of, they got placed in corporates, and rest are teachers. Do you agree with this? Do you agree with this statement? So whether you agree or you disagree would depend on this idea that as to why you chose this job. Why at the first place, why you are in this job. It's out of a choice or out of a compulsion. Because then the entire, uh, the way you put in the energy becomes different. What ma'am was telling, that everyone may have a bad day. Agreed. But then your student should not suffer with this because of this. If you say, ma'am, that it's our responsibility to take care of the students, then I strongly believe that if you have picked up this profession out of choice and not as a compulsion, you would pick it up right. And that is what takes me to the second better idea. In Mahabharata, Arjun, right in the first chapter of Gita, Arjun tells Lord Krishna that I'm not fighting. Okay, I'm not fighting. What is my purpose of fight? So Krishna explains him the worldly things first. That you should fight because it's your say. If you fight, then you would be gaining all this entire land. It would be all yours. You would be a Chakravarti Samrat and whatnot. But then he is not interested in all that worldly pleasures. So he says that okay, you would abide in heaven because you have performed your even if you die fighting, so you would abide in heaven, because that's what you would be considered a warrior. As warrior, you would gain matriarch, so you would abide in heaven. He still refuses, and that's what and that's where uh, and this is the idea for every one of us. That's where dharma is. Okay, that it's your duty. Okay, predominantly it's all of our duty to be what we are. Okay. And that is what would help you forget many things. I'm honestly telling you, one of my bosses used to tell this to me. The best place of a teacher is to be in the class. You would be given tens of works by management is not good, people play politics, everything would happen. But once you are in the class, you are in front of the students, that should you should tend to forget, that should make you forget everything. Because the concept of duty, the concept that you are following your own dharma, your principles, is beyond everything that you might have faced through. So that happiness, if you can, if that facing students, if you can, that you can smile at them back and start with a fresh mood teaching them, because it's no fault of theirs. Whatever hardship I may be going through as a teacher in my office, in my personal life, I should go back and how many times it might have happened with, say, remember yourself as a student, that if you are if the teacher has got a bad mood and he comes and scolds you for almost no mistake of yours, it happened to you as a student at some point of time? Yes. Now I put the second question to you: has it happened to you as a teacher that you have scolded a student because you just are out of your boss office, and what you do, you're just off the mood? I tell you one of my instances. At times we get late. Okay. So I would not say that I'm a very great person. I was always punctual. No. I also used to get late at times. And once you get late, so what my boss started doing is that he would follow up the sign register in his office. He would keep it there. And my reporting time was 9:10. So after 9:10 dot, as 9:11, the register would go to his office. So you're coming all the way, rushing, sliding through the traffic at 9:12. You reach his office, and the first thing that you would see in his office is the watch, which is already showing 9:22. And by all world's watch, they are 9:12. And then you have to wish him. So you say, "Good morning, sir," and he would raise his head in a very unempathetic way and not answer you. And he would say, "You're late." So you would start giving him some reasons, yes, that why you are late. And at times he would tell something back to you, that irrespective of traffic, if 9:10 is your time, 9:10 is your time. So think about it. And the worst case, you have to put the time as not as 9:12. Forget about it. His watch shows 9:22. So you have to put the time as 9:22. So you are 10 minutes late automatically without any reason. And then there is a circular which says that people who are late, okay, so based on the time calculation, the salaries would be deducted, and that would be donated to a cancer relief fund, okay, in a good cause. So continue to be late. So you would go to your boss's office, look at his face, okay, and then your salary also will be cut. And remember, what time you have to be? It's not 2 minutes. It's 10 minutes. Okay, and you cannot tell your boss that the watch is showing 9:20. What would you do in this situation? What would you do in this situation? Anyone? Do you like it? Do you like this situation? Okay.
No, sir. Really don't.
Okay. So what would you do, Mala ma'am, or anyone? What would you do?
We actually want to come to a solution.
What is the solution? Punctuality. Okay. So I had that rough mood, and I would come cursing him that he doesn't understand, he's not empathetic and whatnot. And I was telling it to one of my colleagues, and he told me one simple good thing. You have to reach, what time you leave from your home. So based on that thing, I told him 9 I leave, because 10 minutes far. My institution was then 10 minutes far. They said that, why don't you leave at 8:55? If you face traffic or any other things, why don't you leave at 8:55? Why don't you make it a habit of leaving it by 8:55? I started doing it, and believe me, everything was solved. I was there at 9:08, 9:09. I would sign in the register the way it was kept in the office, not going to his office. So rather, I would stand and wish my boss, "Hello, sir, how are you? Very good morning." And he would reply to me with a happy, cheerful face, "Good morning." So, he would be feeling happy that my staff is improving. They are, out of my measures, they are improving actually. So things end. Yes, this displeasure of facing a rough boss, getting your salary cut, all ends. Yes, everything ended. That's what my point is. That why don't we look at the other side of the thing? Okay. So it's my, if I cannot see as a human being, I'm not a puppet, please. I'm not a plastic doll that I should be wearing a smile all on my face. No, I can have emotions, but my students are of no fault to take my emotions. Why should they be a dustbin here? Tell me that. Why should they be a dustbin? No way. So if I want to avoid any dustbin situation, why can't I be on time? It's not my students' fault. My HOD used to tell me always, it's your duty to be the first one in the classroom. If that bell goes at 9 for your lecture, you should be there at 9. If you're not there at 9, if you're there at 9:01, then you should be allowing all the students who are coming late. Because if as a leader teacher, you are not being there as on time, then the students can take this liberty from you. So if you are late, you have to allow this liberty to students of being late. Because if you call yourself a grown-up, sincere person, if you cannot have that sincerity, what ma'am was telling, then probably don't expect that sincere. They are still, growing up for that sincerity lesson. So what ideology you are setting up for them, it's their right to follow it. Yes. So they should be given that, relaxation because you were there late. So at times you may be late. So at times he can or she can also be late as your student. You have to keep that idea on that thing. So that's what I'm saying. If the first thing, if we teach management, I tell them that the first thing that you should talk in management is the concept of I. Okay. Because still we believe that there is a nobility in the profession. There is a nobility in the cause why you are a teacher. People in corporates may not touch the feet of their bosses. Okay, out of some other compulsions or buttering they can. But out of no compulsions, your students who have passed from you 5 years, 10 years maybe now, they come back with their family, they might be more bald than you, they might have lost more hairs than you, they come back and touch your feet. That's where the nobility, that's where, because they find that they have made a difference in you. So at any given point of time, you may still remember some of the good teachers, whether you may had them at your school, whether you may had them at your college or any level. Okay. And so are we also experiencing. Okay, when we receive 3 days later, we would have that a day to celebrate that spirit of nobility. Okay, the Teachers' Day is coming. So we are still happy when our past students come back to, they send a message on Guru Purnima or on Teachers' Day wishing us that, sir, it's, even if that's a forwarded message or even if that's a template borrowed from this, but still they find time in their life to wish them. There is always a teacher, there is no corporate day, there is no boss day. Please understand this thing. So that is, that's the highest nobility that our society still places onto teachers. Okay, so people, they actually look forward to you in the circles that we move. I have experienced this. They actually look forward to us when it comes to education of their children. They still believe that we are that noble people that they would give us a right guidance. Okay, so people come us to for guidance. So that's where the nobility of the cause, which is still there. And since this all is attached with us, we have got this concept of dharma, we have got this concept of nobility attached with it. So please try and overcome what in organizational behavior terms you call it as learned helplessness. I've seen many people complaining about system. Okay, that this is the system that has made it. Even if I want to do this thing, the system won't allow me to do this. So we slowly get in that grip of a system. And think beyond it. It may sound very idealistic, but think beyond it. What can I do? Given the limitations of the system, every system has its own limitations. Maybe at times you may be limited by budget, you may be limited by time, many things around. So you don't find, time to even go prepare your lecture at the institution. There may be, you may be so packed in that entire work. Agreed. My point telling you is that, have you thought about ultimate beneficiary, that is your students? Amidst all the work burdens that we are loaded with, it's our duty to deliver it to students. At least few of them, the bunch of them who are really interested, who are really serious about making their career, to whom we matter, to whom we can actually make difference in. So have you actually thought about giving that, okay, what can I do beyond this? What can I, do to take them beyond this experience, beyond, can I look forward to some new examples? Can I talk to them about certain ideas? Certain, as ma'am was telling, certain, can I talk to them real life lessons? People forget subjects, forget about them. Nobody may essentially remember you because of their subject, because of your subject. That's a different idea. Beyond your subject, can you talk to them? Okay. Or can you actually, go a mile ahead with them and solve their problems? Has it happened that you might have stayed maybe say half an hour extra to solve a student's problem? Because say he or she may not be able to understand the concept in the class. Not all students can grasp it very easily. So have you walked that extra mile for them? I keep this telling to many colleagues of mine that remember that our sons and daughters are also taught at some institution. And this is what we expect the teachers to do. So what is that? What we expect others to do, but will not perform by ourselves? How bad it is. They are also sons and daughters of someone else who have bestowed this right, I would use this word, right to make their career, or right to lead to us as teachers. They have bestowed this trust on us as teachers that this person would guide my son or daughter in the best possible manner. So have you thought about this larger idea that we have been given this responsibility, okay, by parents, by management, whatever it may be, to guide the students in the best possible manner? And have we walked an extra mile? Let me search some new examples. How many of us, say you might have been teaching one subject for last 4 years, 5 years. Have you tried to incorporate new case studies, new examples, fresh examples, finding out, if you, I was talking to one of the directors and he gave me a very good insight. He said to me that, sir, if what you are teaching is already on Google, forget about that you are teaching. The student is not interested. The span of, the attention span is already low with the student. So he's not interested talking to you or listening to your lectures, which are already, there are many so-called YouTube channels, and he would put it in a 1.5, say, speed, and he can fast forward it, listen to it, and the lecture is done. Why should he attend your class? Okay, think about it. That as a teacher, so I'm not talking about beyond Google, no. I'm talking about the idea of experiential learning. Can you give something to the student which may be on Google? Agreed. Everything is available on Google. Okay. So what beyond Google? Think about it. So that is where you make the difference. If you are talking to the student that tomorrow AI may take up many jobs, why not teaching? What is the guarantee that tomorrow AI or robotics won't take up teaching? They will. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. That's where we would make the difference. If you are teaching this in the class, that how you can make a difference, think beyond it, that what can I do to add value to my students? And that's what takes me to the last point of my lecture. Think about it. We surely are looking forward to making the difference. I'm sorry to use this thing. At times I find that, I'm not trying to be pass on any derogatory remarks towards any subject or a teacher. But at times, you would find that mathematics is one big problem with many students. Yes, some of you may agree. and I'm sure all may not agree, but mathematics is one problem with many students. And how much or how many times it is attributable? I asked this question to many students across, and say 5 out of 10 students agree with this idea, or they give this reason that the teacher who taught them mathematics, there was some issue with that. I don't want to blame teachers per se for students not getting mathematics. No, but there was some issue. The way the teachers would make this sparsing remark that you are not able to understand even the simplest of the problem. I don't know what you would do with your career. Mathematics is so important, and things like that. And this does not apply only to mathematics. This may apply to any subject. So at times this happens that teachers knowingly, unknowingly pass such comments on to the students regarding those subjects. So eventually, my study, my own research in this idea tells me that students move away from that subject. They start absconding from classes. They start moving away from the subject. They start, hiding away rather than asking questions. They would have several doubts. They would ask to their friends, but not to us, because they know that we would pass some comments, and those that would make fun of them, and they would everyone then would start making fun of them. There are teachers who does that. That is what I would like to talk to you. Have you walked that extra mile? It's easy to see an inspirational movie on teaching or inspirational movies and see that how teachers have pulled up students from zero to create some difference in them. We give examples of Chanakya, okay, who created a mightier king. But it actually takes an effort. It actually takes a mile effort to make that difference. Don't take it that way that with every student you would be able to make that difference. No, but at least with some students, if you are able to make that difference. How many students come back to tell you that it's because of you that I have achieved this position, and how happy you feel about that? Because I always believe that as a teacher, if my student comes back and tell me that this is okay. I remember a very famous quote in Sanskrit which says that Sarvartam Jayan Chade. Every person wants that he should win everywhere. Yes? Okay. But iske saath, along with that, you also have one more wish as a teacher. Putran Shishyan Parajayat. If I get defeated, I get defeated by my son, or son means son or daughter, or my student. And then I wish to ask you one simple question. Do you know who is Ramakant Achrekar, sir? Any one of you?
Sachin Tendulkar's coach.
Great. And this is how you know him. Okay. If Ahir sir would have just said he's a cricket coach, okay, probably many people have kept guessing. But as soon as you say Sachin Tendulkar's coach, every one of us know who's Ramakant Achrekar, sir. And that's what I say, that's what difference you can make to someone's life. Okay. So with this, I would like to show up only a small video, another 2 minutes, and then I open up the forum. Should you have anything more to share, else we call it a day. And so I would just like to show one small video as to sum up the entire discussion that we were doing, and then that will be all from my side.
I remember when I decided to be a teacher, thinking it'd be easy, because I just spent the last 15 years in school surrounded by these people trying to teach me. Most of my life has been in school. This job will be breezy. I'd make jokes with kids, share lots of stories, transform lives, make them fall in love with books, perfect my teacher looks, and ensure every kid thrives. It's school. I mean, I'm kind of a fool, but how hard can it be? I think a lot of people believe this job would be easy. But then in my first year, that kid who I poured my heart into dropped out. And it became clear that my jokes didn't carry enough clout. And I had that one class that was so loud that I had to shout. I told myself I would never be that teacher. That's not what I'm about. But then after that moment, I felt my first self-doubt. I remember when that parent burst into my room demanding that I boost her child's grade. And she called me a liar when I told her how he behaved. And that school grade came back that said our work was deficient and pressure from the district would be applied until all of our students scored proficient. How do you teach a kid when their belly is empty, or teach work ethic to students who come from plenty? I thought I'd instantly be a master at leading students who are willing and able, but they stare at their phones under the table. I remember my first class had over 30 kids in the room. And that number doubled for teachers when school was moved to Zoom. Yet the expectation is excellence for those standardized tests that loom. And here I was thinking I'd be a gardener trying to help some flowers bloom. Teaching isn't easy. But when that other student who was fighting bleak odds walked across the graduation stage to a deafening applause, I couldn't help but tear up as I sat here in awe and realized there really is something special about this job. Standardized tests and school grades can still cause me misery, but few things compare to when our students are achieving victory, like watching them read for the first time, or discovering that that math problem is a hill that they can climb, or finding the bravery to speak up in class and deliver a line, or getting a letter from them years later telling you that you helped them shift their paradigm. When a kid falls in love with reading, or students have deep discussions without your pleading, or you can make them see that when it comes to succeeding, there is no ceiling. You're reminded that this career is one worth leading. There's parts of the education system that can cause so much strife, yet there's parts of being an educator that can give you so much life. So if you're not a teacher, just know that this work is challenging and lend your support. And remember who all of their work is for. Our kids, our community, our society. It's for all of us. And if you are an educator, may you discover the joy often hidden beneath the surface and find those moments that make this demanding work worth it. And feel relieved of this pressure to always be perfect, and know that there are many of us who appreciate your service. And may everyone watching this recognize and support it.
So that's all from my side. Any questions if you want to pose, or any experience that you want to pick up, please feel free to share. Else, Nikita ma'am, it's all over to you.
Participants having any questions and queries, so please just go through that. Thank you so much, sir, for such a interesting, interacting, and fruitful session. It was really a nice session, and we are really thankful to you that you spend your precious time from your busiest schedule at our RFI's platform for guiding our participants. So, sir, we are really thankful to you for this.
So I would like
Our
to
happiest thanks to you, sir, from our
Thank you, sir.
Research Foundation of
Totally.
India team, and
Your
thanks to
lecture
all
was
your participants
thought-provoking.
also.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you were saying something. I'm sorry, we missed your voice.
Sir, actually, your lecture was thought-provoking. it was most useful for every teacher, sir. Since from beginning to end, we have more knowledge through this lecture, sir. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. It's all, thank you for your kind words. And I always, feel honored that I get this opportunity through RFI, Ajay Jain sir, Saurabh sir, everyone. That I get a chance to interact with my colleagues from all over the country and at times internationally also. So it's all, it's an experiential sharing. And I would like to extend my thanks to Neha Sharma ma'am also, who has agreed to be with us this evening to share her, journey and her ideas on being a teacher entrepreneur. So Nikita ma'am, thank you for this wonderful conduction of the session. And
Thank you
all
so much, sir.
colleagues, have a very good evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for spending your precious time, and it's really a great honor, sir. And for a teacher, it's a wonderful gift that when their participants praise their work. So already participants are told that you have done your 100%. So thank you so much, sir, for give that you 100% on this platform. And thanks to Neha Sharma ma'am also for spending her precious time on our platform and share her journey with all of our participants. And thanks to participants for being patient listener also. Yes,
Nikita ma'am, I believe someone has raised the hand. Yes, so someone wants to say something before we close the session? Okay, thank you. Okay.
So thank you all once again. Have a good day to you all. I hope we'll see you all soon.
Good evening. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.